Well, folks, once again, this weekend is another big weekend for music in Mason County. It's Bluegrass from the Forest, and it's its 20th year. Greg Linder on the phone with me. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing real good.
This is exciting. 20 years. It's a lot to put these festivals on year after year, and for it to be here now in its 20th year, it's got to make you feel good and be exciting for the lineup this year.
Actually, kind of hard to believe.
So tell me, I mean, when did this first, 20 years ago, 2005, what was the thought process here?
See, I believe the store downtown used to be, it was Lumberman's at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
And Dwayne Wilson, who works with me in this festival and is with the Kiwanis Club, we were out in the parking lot and we kind of thought, should we start a bluegrass festival? And that's how it started. We decided, okay, let's try it. You know, so
and it's
we
really,
had history in the past, like back in the late '80s and early '90s, of putting on a yearly one-day concert of three different bands at the high school performing arts center, and so we already had experience in doing stuff like that. But yeah, so that's how it started.
that's awesome. I know I've been talking to you guys for almost the whole time about this every year, kind of
Yeah,
explaining
yeah,
what's happening, and it's really cool to see because I believe now I was talking to Zach Hansen the other day, and he said that he was listening to some music in the Oyster Bank when I came in, and he
yeah.
goes, "This guy played as a kid or something like that at Bluegrass many years ago," and so you're kind of getting into that portion now, where
I think you're talking about Zach Top. He is he played in as a teenager and went through our festival. Played in a family band at one point, and he went kind of through the years at our festival as a young kid. And he is now way up on the top in country music. He's won a CMA New Artist of the Year this year, and is
that's
playing
wild.
country. He's nationwide. He's a big star now, so it's pretty cool.
That is really cool. It
And
is.
we've had three others, at least three others that have gone national. They're playing out uh, all over the country. Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. This year has got a great lineup. It's once again at South Mason Youth Soccer Park. This has turned into a great location.
Yes, it has. Yeah,
Big space for
we
camping.
needed more room.
Oh yeah. Beer and wine garden near the stage, camping, jamming, workshops, all through the night. You hear people in different little pockets of the campgrounds playing, and everybody kind of gets together every so often. Tell me about some of these bands that'll be here this year. Seth Mulder and Midnight Run, Jim Hurst, who name is familiar from the last couple years. I remember his name.
Yeah,
Tell
Jim
me.
Hurst was here a few years ago, and he's a great, really wonderful person to start with. But he's a real excellent musician and songwriter. Uh, he'll be here doing two shows. He's from Nashville. And Seth Mulder and Midnight Run, also they're a top band in the country now, in the bluegrass realm. They're out of Nashville, Tennessee, and they just do a fine job. Really great, straight traditional bluegrass. Very, very active, very high energy.
I love it.
They
That's
just
cool.
got back from Europe, a tour in Europe last week. Um, and we have
How is bluegrass
several.
in Europe? How does that go over? Well,
It does. There's a great, even in Japan too. It's all over the country. There's bluegrass. There's a niche. It's a niche genre of music in several countries.
huh.
I think they were in Ireland.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
cool. Never Come
yeah,
Down is coming up from Oregon, as well as Midnight Run and Way Far Yonder. So these are kind of more Northwesterners.
yep,
Plus the
yeah. Regional
Buckaroos.
groups. Yep. The Barkay Buckaroos, they play for our Saturday night dance, which is from 10 to midnight, and then at midnight is our midnight hot dogs.
That's turned into quite the tradition too for folks that are there.
I think last year we got rid of like 150 in just a short time.
I love it. Tell me about
And
that
it,
school of the Bluegrass kids, the Chick Rose School. What happens there?
Actually, I just got a call from Stacy Harnew, who heads that up. She comes out of Oregon and has several of the people helping her do a workshop from 10 to 12 on Saturday, and it's free for the kids. And then they work up some stuff during the evening, before the evening main acts on Saturday. They get up and do a show on the main stage, which is really fun to watch.
That's
They're
great.
all excited, and yeah, that happens every year. Chick Rose, years ago, he initially did the workshops, and so, but he suddenly passed away. But the tradition is being carried on by a lot of his students that they grew up and they're playing bluegrass music now, and they're helping out with this workshop every year.
You can see the lineup at bluegrassfromtheforest.com. It's also where you can get tickets. In Shelton, you can get them at Bobland Records, also Builder's First Source, which is that original Lumberman's location we were talking about that kind of got the whole thing going, plus Shelton Music are other places that you can do it. So bands from across the country are coming in, lots from Oregon and around here too. Where all are people coming in, ticket people, buying their tickets? Where do they come
Uh,
from?
Mostly in the Northwest, quite a few people out of Oregon, some people from Canada, Eastern Washington, and of course Western Washington, the area here. Fairly wide range. We get like I just got a call today from someone from Denver, and they're coming through.
Wow.
A lot of people make their rounds at different bluegrass festivals, and they just make it part of the route.
Yeah, I think we
So
talked about this a few years ago, but this is kind of one of the first ones in the summer music series for bluegrass.
one of the early ones, yes, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And in fact, after ours, there's a whole string of festivals for several months, every weekend.
So people can just
Somewhere around the Northwest.
somewhere.
Just,
So
yeah.
you guys are playing as well. Runaway Train, your band, continues on to be on the stage there and
Well, we
play.
try to die, but we never do. So
Keep coming back,
we,
keep going. Gosh, they keep saying yes.
yeah, we almost broke up twice in the past, but then something happened. We got to, keep it going. So we're having a lot of fun.
You guys sound so good all the time. I see you all over the place.
We've done
You play at
some music in the
Matlock,
park a
you're
few times.
music in the
Yeah, we play
park.
all over the Northwest. We played all the festivals in the Northwest. We played Wintergrass 2 years ago. That was really fun.
Yeah. This is going to
Um,
be so again, starts on Friday through the weekend. And how do the tickets work? You have to buy for one, you can get a
you go to the
pass.
website. You can buy for any individual show, which is a show Friday night at 7 o'clock. There's a show Saturday afternoon, a show Saturday evening, and a show on Sunday
And so the lineup
afternoon.
kind of
So
mixes and matches. So you're not gonna
yes, yes,
if you
most
give
of
the
the bands play twice in
okay.
2 days. Yeah. So
Very
but we got 3 days of shows, but we have most of the bands playing twice.
sure. Camping is
Yeah.
available on site, $15 a night, and there is a lot of space. You get a lot of
All kind
campers
of
up
space.
there.
There's no people ask if there's space, when they call up and
Yeah.
or text. There's no problem with that. We got 3 soccer park complexes,
Over the years,
and
we've
it's all
talked. You and I and Dwayne have all talked about, a lot in the early days. Not so much now because it's packed there when I go out and check it out. There's people from all over Shelton, Mason County,
yeah.
like you said. But from the early days, we always were talking about how do we get more locals in. So folks listening now to this interview, going, we have an open weekend, and this, I keep hearing about this. What's another? Give me the pitch again. What's another good reason to come out to this?
Well, a lot of people have the set ideas about what bluegrass is, and they think it's just a bunch of corny, crazy, stupid stuff. But they get to this festival, they'll see what real good quality music is. I mean, they'll fall in love with it. A lot of
Yeah,
people are converts. It
I
is really fun.
I love it. It's not produced country. it lands, a lot in the Americana genre that people
Yes.
love to just listen to, and that's one of my main fallback types of musics that I listen to is Americana
Yeah.
music,
Yeah.
and it just has a certain sound to it and a certain it's real comfortable. It's really nice.
I look back just for the fun of it from our first festival in 2005 to see how many bands, unique, different bands we've hired. Over 65
Wow.
throughout those years, and they're all different.
They're all different,
So
and like we were saying, some now are on the upper echelons of the country music world,
yes, yes,
CMA awards and all that stuff. Plus, I'm sure countless of awards when it comes to bluegrass, the
yeah,
genre
yeah.
bluegrass and
There's
things like that.
yeah, it's kind of fun to see who has moved on or moved up the ladder, or who just still is into it, playing regionally or just playing at the festivals.
Yeah.
It's just a real fun time.
Well, you got to come out. It is a wonderful time at South Mason Youth Soccer. It's on Johns Prairie Road, right next to MCRA, behind Belco there on Johns Prairie Road for this. Not only is it there's music, but there's also food and vendors, and it's a whole thing. It's a festival. It's been going on for
We
20
got
years.
workshops both days.
So folks, adults
Oh,
too can come and learn or
absolutely.
play around with things.
Oh, the workshops, yeah. I mean, all ages, yeah. The kids program is one thing, but there's also workshops for all ages.
Like I said, food, music, beer and wine garden. The dance on Saturday night is always a fun one with the Barkay Buckaroos, followed by
They're great, a great band.
the hot
Yeah,
dog the hot dog roast that people you work up an appetite dancing for 2 hours. You gotta have some
yeah.
hot
You go
dogs.
around the grounds and say, midnight hot dogs, and people come in like zombies out of the dark. It's really crazy.
I love it.
It
This
is
week,
crazy.
this weekend is when it is. Bluegrassfromtheforest.com. I'll put the website and the links to this too. But you can also get tickets in town. Bobland, the record store there in town, plus Lumberman's, Builder's First Source, whatever it's called these days, and
Or,
Shelton Music as well. Uh,
or at the gate, and same price.
okay,
So
yeah,
no,
very, very good.
yeah,
And you might as well grab the camper, come on out and stay the whole weekend because it's always something.
absolutely.
And even if the band's playing, you said bands are playing twice, but they're not necessarily playing the same songs, and it's a different
No,
energy every time.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Awesome, Greg. Well, good on you
Each
guys.
show has three different bands.
Oh,
So
is that how it works? Okay.
yeah, each show has three bands.
Well, good on you guys for keeping this going. And I know over the years, the local crowds, which is something you guys have really wanted to get to understand what this is, have really started turning out for you. But people coming
Yeah,
from
it's
all
the last few
outside the
years they've
area.
really started building up the local,
Yeah, that's
the
awesome,
locals.
man.
And I've also hired a variety of types of bands. For example, Never Come Down this year. There's some more progressive type, and they bring a different crowd.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot more younger people showing up with families.
Oh,
So
that's great.
yeah,
That's awesome. All right, Greg. Well, I'll let you go and get you ready for the weekend, but it's going to be a big one. Weather looks like it's going to be perfect for it. So once
it
again,
does. Yes.
another sunny weekend in Shelton for a great music festival. Bluegrass from the Forest, 20 years strong. It's this weekend. Bluegrassfromtheforest.com for your tickets and more information. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.